Hello and welcome everybody. It's Sunday evening for those of us in Europe, and that means one thing: it's the end of the Misfits Racing League week, and today we round out a week of Spanish Grand Prix. And joining me for Formula 2 action, as always, Alex Biddo. Alex, how are you this evening, my friend?
Hello, Unicorn. I'm very good. Just here in Spain on my home GP. So we will see these F2 drivers on the Spanish track and very tight track and difficult to overtake. We will see how they manage to do it.
Yeah, indeed. We've seen already a lot of action through this track already this week. Earlier today, I watched the APEC race and we had a lot of action going on there. It was a very dramatic race all throughout the week. We've had some really brilliant battles for positions, and just this track, it can be a little tricky to overtake around and get it completely right here for all the drivers, but for those who do, it can be very rewarding. We're just waiting, I think, on maybe a couple more drivers here, as we got a couple minutes until the hour. But one thing we haven't seen all throughout this week, Alex, maybe in a qualifying session or two, we haven't seen any rain in a race, and we haven't really seen it in a race at all this season. The end of the APAC Netherlands race was graced by rain, but will Formula 2 break the deadlock? Because we haven't seen it at all, so surely it has to come at some point. Weather's not dynamic. We always get the roll of the dice. Do you think we'll see it tonight?
Yeah, totally. Spain a track where it's not that difficult to have rain. We actually saw some rain this Tuesday on the Tier 3 quali. So they didn't have a wet race though, but it was still rain on quali, so a little bit of very difficult weather for them. And F2 can be more difficult probably. We see sometimes these drivers trying to handle the car and not well not having the best result with them. So F2 with rain can be very dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It would be nice to see some rain in a race. We haven't seen it yet, but at the same time, the dry racing that we have had this season has been very good, and so has the F2 action. We've always had some brilliant races, and I'm sure tonight will be no different. Spain, a pretty interesting track, and there's a couple of hot spots here. Turns 9 and 10, those are some easy places to have an incident. Even if you're on your own 9, turn 2 as well, if you're not paying full attention, and side by side to there, you can put it on the inside wall in either of those corners. 10, a bit of an ambitious lunge, can send one or two cars off and out of the race. And turn 1, basically the best overtaking spot. Turn 5 as well, pretty interesting if you can get around the outside of 4, dive up the inside of 5. That could be huge for the race. But we are at 8 o'clock for me, 9 o'clock across Central Europe, and obviously 3 p.m. Eastern for those of the viewers in America. And with that, I think we're just about ready to get cracking here. Drivers are readying up, and we'll head on into that one-shot qualifying session. No second chances, just one attempt to get the fastest lap that these drivers can out of these F2 cars.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were talking about the overtaking spots, and yeah, that turn 5 can be a good one section to be side by side from turn 3 to turn 7. But as well, yeah, we have of course turn 1 and turn 10. So we will see, because normally the slipstream and the tow here on these F2 cars can be more powerful than the normal F1 cars. So yeah, as well, it depends a lot on the setup. It's very important, the setup, to have a straight line speed if you really want to overtake, and of course having a stable setup here around Spain. So we will see, because we're loading in to the session this one shot qualifying, as we see there at the bottom left of our screen, some drivers loading in, and we will be going here to this one shot qualifying.
Yeah, here we go. We won't have a weather report either for the race. There's one thing about the one-shot qualifying: no one's going to start in a garage, so we're absolutely completely blind for what the race is going to be. Here in qualifying, it is dry. That doesn't mean that the races will be, because obviously there are 2 races, so we can see a dry first race and a wet second race. That would be an interesting dynamic, particularly given that some people are a lot stronger in the rain than others, so it will be very interesting to see that. We're just waiting for people to get those setups that you just mentioned dialed in. We've seen a few people this week. There are some tricky corners around here. 7 and 8 be pretty easy to spin a car through there. A couple drivers did just that earlier in the APAC race, but yeah, there's a lot of corners here where an unstable car will catch you off guard. 7, 8, 9, 11 and 12 if you catch the curve wrong there. And then, of course, the huge sausage curves at 14, 15. Back row is the driver that the timing tower has selected for the one-shot qualifying session. So we'll go on board with him for the lap. You can see that timing tower just dancing around. Back row now dropping and then going back up as he comes through turns 2, now into 3, hugging that right-hand side and really just opening the car out, getting positioned for turn 4 through sector 1. He's in about P7 at the moment. Now already up into P4. You can see a lot of people jostling for position around the 4th corner now into turn 5. A very good corner to gain a lot of time on. Also a great corner to lose a lot of time on. As now he comes through 6, the very slight left-hander, into 7, through 8, a very tricky couple of corners to get right. Now 9, just such an easy place to get caught off guard. But for back row, that's not going to be the case. He has DRS enabled down towards turn 10 now. Usually we'd see him in a Red Bull in tier 3, but for now, he's in the high-tech for this Spanish Grand Prix through now into turn 12, and he's currently jostling with Squid for 4th place. Into 13. Sejos has retired from the session. Very unfortunate for him, but through the chicane, very, very nicely done from back row there. Brainstew's hopped to the top of the timing tower for now. Who was going to cross the line fastest, though? It is Brainstew, 125.9. Back row in for the 127.2. Just 1/10 behind Squid and 1/10 ahead of Welsh Toast. And Alex, there are a lot of 127s on the board. This could be a very, very tight grid for F2 tonight.
Indeed, and I don't know if you saw that, but we have some disqualifications from this one-shot qualifying. Drivers exceeding the track limits on this track of Barcelona-Catalonia. And yeah, Brainstew will have the 4 points with a massive gap of 7/10 respect Maka. Eric will take 3rd place here. Squid 4th place, and back row finally we were on board with him, will take P5. So Welsh Toast, Torza, Psycho, Mowen, and Wavy will be the top 10. Kiwi will be 11th, Williams 12th, Rosie 13th. And then the disqualification is very important because we have fast drivers here on this bottom 5. Neon, Shane, Coolmatic, if I'm not mistaken, Cijas, and Domi, and I think it was Shane, yeah, and Cijas as well.
Yeah, well, I think a couple of those drivers might have had issues. Neon apparently binned it out of the last corner, so that's why he's all the way down there. I think Domi was fighting up at the top for a lot of that as well, but now obviously starting at the rear of this grid. And well, an opening lap around Spain can be very dramatic in and of itself, and well, with no formation lap, everyone just gets thrust straight into it, so there's plenty of room for error, and that means that they can, everyone can get a few positions from the back of their grid, and that's just a huge opportunity for a lot of positions gained on the opening lap. But you have to be careful. You can't really go looking for them. You just have to stay out of everyone else's way, as we're just waiting on Williams to load in here before the first round goes. And Alex, as this is your home GOP, why don't you take us away here for this race start?
Yeah, we have the 5 lads here on Spain, and it seems like a good start from Brainstew. I don't really know Maka alongside. I think there's a crash behind. I think it was a Prema of Williams losing both end plates, but yeah, we see Squid. It's a 4 wide here. You're gonna go for first turn, and the outside will be Brainstew holding there. Around the outside, the pole position will be Eric on the inside. It seems like Maka or Squid, it's Squid actually, will take 2nd place. Maka just following behind Eric. On the outside of turn 3, we have a yellow flag. I think it's a high tech of Wavy or Neon, I think is Wavy, but yeah, Brainstew on pole position holding that 1st place. Maka seems like he's going to lose on turn 4. We have Moen on the inside. I think it's Brainstew on the gravel.
Yeah, Brainstew did very well to catch that. Moen's been tapped for the rear, and he's going around, and that's going to collect back row on the inside of turn 5. Yeah, but like you said, Brainstew, a bit of a snap coming out of him. Back row now fighting. There's 3 cars. Back row sandwich, Psycho and Rosie. They're both into the gravel. Both cars still. Oh, but a dangerous rejoin from Rosie. That's unfortunate. Welsh Toast is up into P3. Torza behind him. Moen now looking at the rear of the Carlin car. Can he find a way past down as a hairpin? Moen, patient driver. We've seen it time and time again. Not going to happen for him. Williams coming down into turn 10 as well. He's not going to find it, but what a lot of action, and the action's not stopped.
Back row. I think it was back row. He touched, I think, the front part of the dams of Kiwi, and Kiwi will be holding the place, but back row will be spinning around. And on turn 12, now recovering the gap. I think it was Squid. Squid lost the first place.
He's in the pit lane, but not facing the right way, and he's having to wait for everyone. But people are trying to get in the pit lane, and Squid is causing a huge problem here. He's managed to get his car into the gravel trap. Let's go on board with the battle for third. There's 3 cars right now. Brainstew, he's had a bad start, but it's not the worst. Mowing up the inside of Torza, but just a little bit deep, and Torza's clipped him on the way around through turn 2, and Moen now is facing the wall. No damage, I don't think, on the BWT Race Labs car, but still a drop from position. Still 2 points up from where he started this race, and the grid, Alex, is so segregated after that.
Yeah, Brainsteel will try the move on the outside. It doesn't seem like he will get it right now in turn 5, but they will talking all that action. Eric as well spawn out the exit of turn 8. At that moment, a lot of drivers. We see like 6 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, on the pit stop. I think 7 actually. But yeah, Brainsteel seems like has more pace than this Carlin, but he can't get rid of him. 10-second time penalty for corner cutting for Squid for the MP Motorsport. Very, very bad luck from him. He spun while he was leading, I think, on last corner, touching that sausage curb. So we have Brainsteel now on the outside of turn 10. Torza almost clipping the rears of Brainsteel. Brainsteel will have 3rd place, and it's catching Wellstoast.
Yes, good pick up that corner cutting penalty. He was in the thing. Winion is out of this session. I don't know what's happening to Squid. I think he's still struggling. And we do finally have a full course yellow in a full safety car.
And we have Unicorn. A restart is confirmed by the head steward of F2. So it seems like we'll have a restart after half of the grid was taken out and damage for them. So it seems like that.
Well, we'll get everyone into that new lobby as quickly as possible. And make sure that, fingers crossed, the new lobby goes a little bit better than that one. Obviously, all the drivers right now, some of them will be really losing their heads as to what's just happened. We'll have to get a custom grid sorted and fixed out for everyone. So we appreciate everyone's patience. That was a very, very dramatic start to the F2, but the race lobby will be restarted just because of how many drivers were caught up in that lap 1 incident. And rather than have everyone suffer with damage, we'll get everyone in a nice fresh lobby. The grid will be realigned, and there we go. But thank you everyone for tuning in. This is Misfits Formula 2 action, and we have just had a brilliant race week at Spain for the F1 cars. We always round out the race week here in the F2 division. So a big thank you to everyone tuning in. A big thank you as well to our partners at Next Level Racing. Go check them out if you're looking for a sim racing rig. Then be sure to go check them out. Link will be in the chat because they have some awesome stuff and they're doing great things for the sim racing community. So be sure. As for the, do we need the same car? It's first come first serve with the F2. So as long as you got a car neon, it shouldn't matter at all. But the new lobby is up, so we'll make sure everyone is in as quickly as possible. But yes, there's no problem with choosing the same car. If you want it, it's all there. But it doesn't really matter which car you pick. But the lobby is already up. We've already got 15 drivers back, and I think we only had 18 to begin with. So nearly everyone is back in.
Yeah, some drivers trying to connect now. So yeah, we will be soon here racing again on Spain. For the one who were asking, yeah, it was a lot of incidents on lap 1, so it will be restarted by the head steward. But we need the drivers to join the lobby as soon as possible, so the grid organizer can organize the grid, actually. So we will try to wait a few minutes, so be sure to be tuning in. And yes, it seems like we're almost here, everyone.
Yeah, indeed. I think we do need everyone to start on the same tyres as well, because I don't think there's free tyre choice with the one-shot quali. So
I think it is, actually.
Oh, well,
I think you can choose the tyres. So I think as it was a red flag, yes, you can change your tires as it happened in Monaco on season one. Sorry, on season three of Tier One. That some drivers changed it and didn't happen. Did nothing happen because um, well, they actually were available to do that because it's like the first race never happened.
Well, here we go. Nearly everyone back in. I think we're just waiting on one more driver, so fingers crossed we got someone in. But once we do, everything will get restarted. Again, thank you for your patience, everyone in the chat. It's much appreciated. I don't know if we're going to get this one driver. Is someone still connecting as well? I don't know if Mo's got a thing there, but yeah, this is Misfits Racing. I'm Unicorn, and with me, Alex Biddo, as always.
Yeah, here we'll be soon here racing on Spain. It's a well, we can talk about the track. It seems like the weather should be the same as it was on sprint and sorry, on the feature and sprint. So we didn't have any news of the weather. So I will assume that we have dry this entire session. So yeah, it doesn't seem like we'll have that mayhem we were trying to aim with that rain, but well, the mayhem we had it. So the chaos already is done. We'll see if these drivers can handle it better. We have all 18 drivers here, so our grid, our organizer is just trying to put the drivers as they were on this grid. So we will be soon ready, and we will see how they manage because it was a good start for Bristol, but all we have seen this first 2 laps, it's like it never existed. So it was a red flag here on Spain, and we will be, as I said, soon ready to go.
Yeah, it's dry, the conditions for anyone wondering. Definitely confirmed now by the fact that the lobby's been set to that, dry setting. And again, a little bit disappointing. But Alex, I said to Striff earlier in the week that, well, now that we haven't seen any rain this week, and we haven't seen any rain prior to this moment, the first full wet race could be in Monaco next week, as we do have a countdown. But next week, we could see the first full wet Misfits Racing League Season 4 race in Monaco. And that would be huge drama.
Yeah, definitely. We know how difficult is Monaco for some drivers. Well, actually, for me as well, it's very, very difficult to manage to not clip the wall or things like that. So I think we're waiting for one driver still. But yeah, talking about Monaco, the rain might be something very, very huge and difficult to manage, as we all know how Monaco is.
Yeah, exactly. Monaco just so hard. And, well, of course, not only will the F1 go there, but the F2 will follow here. And when it does, we will see just how the drivers take it on. If you do want to join in with the F2, it is indeed a community event. You can join it as long as you're in the Discord. So make sure, exclamation mark Discord, you get yourselves into the Misfits community Discord, where even if you don't want to race, just chat about F1. There's a lot of good stuff, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with the countdown here. People are readying up, people are unreadying up. It's counting down, it's not counting down. But yes, make sure you're in there so you're up to date with all Misfits racing the action. And now the timing countdown is once again at the final 10 seconds. Fingers crossed it reaches the threshold here, and we get through into the race. I don't know if the lobby is. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we were waiting for four-door sedan, I think. Some drivers didn't know about that. Now they noticed as four-door sedan joined the lobby. He will be starting last, as he wasn't available for the quali because some technical issues. So it will be kind of lucky for him. Like, we had this restart, and not only for him, we saw some drivers having some massive issues. That's why we had the red flag. But having some breath of relief now with this restart. So we will see, because these drivers will be soon here on the grid.
Well, we have loaded into the session. I think we have one more driver than we did last time. We've got 19 now, and fingers crossed that, you know, everything goes a little bit more smooth than it did in the previous attempt. But no, there was some excellent action in the last one. Let's hope it's a little bit more tame, a little bit more controlled, and that action can get expanded across the whole of
Unicorn. I have to tell you something. I think you didn't change still the screen to the game.
We are in.
Intro. Okay, now.
Thank you,
So
Headers.
yeah, two seconds here to the start of this race. Seems like we are here, 5 lights again here on Spain, and we will see, because it was Brainsteel on pole position. It seems like he had a better start than last time. Maka with the soft compounds trying to get the grip there. Eric will try to defend Squid. It seems like a more better start for Brainsteel this time, not a 4 wide on the first turn, but yeah, we will see. It seems like more clean, Unicorn.
Yeah, indeed, everyone getting through turn 1 at least, and through turn 2. It looks like most people have managed it through there as well. Back row now on the outside of Welsh Toast. Very nice move from him, and now looking at the inside of Eric as well. Down into turn 4, you can see Squid running a little wide there, and he's just gone through on the inside, trying to look around the outside, but not managing to get the move done. You can see there the other Carlin. I think that might be Cool Manic dancing all over the rear. The Campos. Kiwi's a little light wide, but Psycho's the one losing out here. Down into 10th place, 2 places down on where he started this race. Now early on the brakes to lift. Kiwi in our space. Cool Manic doesn't read the situation, and he's spun around at 7 and 8. And that's not what he wants to be doing. Well, let's go on board with Shane Perkins. He on the DRS straight. Obviously no DRS to speak of at the moment, but he's just made a nice move. Moen's up a position. He's up into P7. They're battling side by side in the BWT.
It was actually an exchange between Williams and Shane. Seems like Shane had more momentum than Williams. Williams on turn 10 going a little bit slow, so Wavy almost clipping the rear of that Campos. Almost now. I think there's a spin. I think it's Domi.
Yeah, Domi spinning his car around, not what he wants to be doing. Meanwhile, Maka has a brilliant run in the Prima. He's on the soft compound tyres. Let's have a look at what tyres everyone is on. And
Neon spawned on the last corner. I think he was pushed off to the gravel. So Neon right now on the Prema will be trying to catch more place and do the comeback, but it seems kind of impossible from that position, and that gap lost. But back row now gaining some places. He actually sent an attack to Eric on turn 1 on the inside of Elf. So we will see how back row tries to catch these front leaders, as Eric, with a better strategy, will try to not fall off the DRS.
Wavy just spun it coming out of turn 4 and straight into the wall. That's an end plate missing from his car. And that's very unfortunate for him, but yeah, the leaders still pretty bunched up, Alex, like you were saying before. Wavy spun the car, and it doesn't look like they're breaking up too much. The front 4, or the front 3, sorry, are running away, and then there's a little bit of a gap out of the back row, but from there, there's still a fairly sizable train forming. You can see now, Welsh Toast, Eric, then side by side through 11, not where you want to be doing it. And, well, neither has exchanged. Welsh Toast got into a little bit of the grass. There's an incident behind.
Yeah, I saw that. It was Kulmanik overshooting a little bit turn 10. He tapped Sieges, but a good sportsmanship there from Kulmanik. Tried to leave against Sieges the place he gained illegally. So good one for Kulmanik, but now he will try to catch again Sieges, as before there's almost losing, Domi almost losing the rear on the last corner. Kulmanik very close, as well as Torza on 7th place. He was trying on the inside of Welsh Toast, but it seems like it won't be easy for him. We have a lot of exchanges now, Unicorn.
Yeah, not going to be for Torza, but Kulmanik and Sieges there going side by side. And then again, the attacking car unsuccessful down into turn 1. We will have DRS in a lap, though, when we next go down there. DRS is enabled. The first opportunity will be out of turn 9. Torza under a little bit of pressure now from Mo, and he failed to get the move done on Welsh Toast. Now he's feeling a bit of the pressure himself from the BWT behind in Deruvala's car, but what can Moen do? Moen in that BWT not having a good time through 7 and 8 as they come through turn 9. Moen now will get DRS, but Torza has it too. Welsh Toast doesn't, but given Welsh Toast's brilliant exit on a 9, not a lot Torza can gain from that, so very unfortunate. See, Justin Domi, the teammates have exchanged positions. And Domi up into P15.
Yeah, it seems like Domi has more pace, so they exchange it. There's a yellow flag, I think it's Williams. Williams spun it on the exit of turn 11, entering turn 12. I don't see any damage for the Trident driver, but yeah, it will be massive for him because he will be falling down to 19th place.
Yeah, Torza now on the rear of Welsh Toast. Welsh Toast again, no DRS for him, but Moen has DRS as well. They're flying down into turn 1, and these three, they've just been glued together as if there is nothing that can break them apart, and I think DRS is the only way to, get these guys rearranged. As right now,
Neon on the inside. Neon on the inside tried to overtake Webby. Webby seems like he has some damage there on the right end plate. Neon, sorry, on the outside of turn 3 will be like easy for him with that downforce. As we have an exchange, it seems like Caesar's around the outside of turn 4. Seems like the AEDT family is trying to battle between them. We'll see Jesus is just backing up there, leaving Domi the space, and Domi will take 14th place. So very, very compact grid right now. Brent's still very close for the lead. Seems like he has more pace even with those hard compounds against those softs.
Yeah, the hard compounds versus the soft, something that we probably wouldn't have seen without the restart. Who is that? I think it's Domi again into the wall. It's outside of turn 9, and the ART car is on the off track, and well, I imagine there's a little bit of damage. He's spun again. He is really struggling. Neon now is well and truly past Wavy. And Brainstew, he might have a run here. He does have a run. He's going to get back past Maka for P1 way before turn 1. Very nicely done move from him in the Dam's car. Moving back.
Torza as well. Seems like he will do the same exact move. A little bit more difficult for him than Brainstew had. It's side by side, still on turn 2. They're leaving the space. We will see, because it seems like the Carlin car will go on the inside of turn 3. Seems like more tight for him, better line, and will be ahead of the Charus. But well, it's Psycho off track, and it's a DNF for him. It's yellow flag. It's a safety car.
Well, there we have it, a safety car. Just as things were starting to heat up between a few of these guys, the safety car has been pulled out, and we will be under a full course yellow, and I imagine we're going to see a few drivers here hop into the pit lane, take advantage of this, and then get onto the hardcore tyres. So those on the hards, this is a bit of a problem, Alex, because they can't really take softs to the end. No way.
I was thinking about that. Because I don't know what I would do if I'm on the hard situation like Brainstew, and a lot of drivers actually, I think more than 50% of this grid are on these hard tires, so probably they can risk it. Probably the first green flag after a safety car will be like lap 9, so it's 10 laps. It's stretched on those softs, but I don't think they have a better option. Staying out on those hards is very, very difficult to think, because the pit stop is very, very long, and Brinstill actually stay out.
I think he's going to bank for another safety car, because realistically, what else can he do? Because, like you said, softs to the end seems a bit impossible. The other hard runners, Torza, Welsh Toast, they're all staying out. Eric as well, and well, here comes. Well, Squid stayed out as well. Now that seems Squid and Backrow. That seems interesting to me, Alex. Why would they stay out?
Probably they think probably there's another safety car at the end of this race. That should be the only thing that they are thinking about, to stay out there on track. Squid and Backrow actually. I thought they were on hard compounds, so that's why I was thinking they were trying to go for another safety car. But probably they didn't want to double stack. I really don't think that was the option.
Yeah, I think they really had to take this opportunity when it was handed to them. Now that they haven't done it, that's going to cost them huge here. Surely this cannot be the optimal strategy for these drivers.
Yeah, sure. Because this safety car, you can do the mandatory stop, as I was answering to Rutinius. It's on BST conditions where you cannot serve that mandatory pit stop. So you should pit again if you do the pit stop on those circumstances. But yeah, on their safety car, you actually can change the tires. And we were on lap 5 at that moment when the safety car came out. So they had the pit stop, the strategy solved for Squid and Backrow, but they didn't choose that option. I'm really intrigued, or well, yeah, I don't know really why they didn't take that. Probably they have another plan, and we don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah, very confusing, very surprising, and well, here comes Squid now. The pair of them into the pit lane now, so maybe they were avoiding a double stack, but now they're going to get thrust straight down to the back of the grid, so interesting to see from the pair of them, but they are going to come into the pit lane, they are going to get onto some hard tyres, they will be one lap fresher, so maybe that's their plan, really take advantage at the end of the race.
Yeah, even though that pitting on the second lap of safety car never is the better option, because now the grid is, the drivers and the grid is a little bit more compressed. So when they pit, they will be losing more positions than on the first lap, of safety car. So yeah, I think now back row is just behind Kolmanik and Squid as well. Caesars as well pitted. I think 5 seconds for him as well. Bad luck for the ARC driver.
Yeah, well, we are now. It's lap 7. Hopefully the safety car gets called in this lap. It might go round again. So there is, you know, the chance that this one gets restarted coming on to lap 9. But at the same time, fingers crossed, racing restarts on lap 8. And at that point, we're almost halfway through the race, Alex. So there's only 19 laps in the feature race here. We will have a sprint race to follow that will be shorter in length, won't have a mandatory pit stop, and I imagine we'll see just everyone take the hards from start to finish, unless of course they have an incident. And well, we had plenty of incidents in the first race, only one retirement right now, Psycho, and they're the only driver out of this one. And also it's worth bearing in mind that the first race was a little bit challenging, this one gone much smoother, but now we're going to safety car restart, Alex, and everyone has to be on their toes again. Everyone's back together, everyone's in this tight-knit group of cars, and that's when problems arise, and a problem has arrived for Torza. He's off.
He's off. I think he actually dodged the wall, because I heard something. Yeah, and he has massive damage on that front wing. He will be pitting, and thank God to him that the safety car is not in this lap, but all the strategy, it will be kind of messy now, because he will have to pit for softs if he only wants to pit once. So he will try to go from here to the end on those soft compounds. And we have a raid from Dark Chocolate. It's 30 raiders. I'm very, very thankful for that, Dirk. And we will see you on Tuesday on Tier 3. But yeah, welcome here. It's F2. It's home GP for me. It's Spain. And we're under safety car on the future race.
Yeah, big thank you to Dirk Chocolate, and welcome everyone from Dirk Stream. And a big shout out as well to Mr. Ace Ritchie. He's just subscribed for the 5th month in a row. So big shout out to Dirk, big shout out to Ace Ritchie, and a big shout out to everyone watching along as well. All your support means the world to us, so thank you everyone for being here. Like Alex said, we're here at Spain, and who is that? It's Rosie in the gravel. We're under safety car conditions, but some of these drivers evidently don't think so, because they're struggling big time. Rosie manages to get rejoined. He's struggling to find where he's supposed to belong on this grid, though, and everyone's backing themselves up, and that was a bit confusing for the drivers. But Kulmanik, he's received a 5-second severe penalty for collision with Squid. That's not what he wants to be doing. But I imagine the safety car is about to come in. I think it was called in. It is.
I don't think so,
well,
because we have seizures still on the. We have seizures still on the main straight. Sorry to interrupt there. So I don't really know what is happening. Yeah, it will be on this lap. I think safety car won't be waiting for seizures. So seizures will have to push a little bit on this lap. He changed it, I think, 3 times the tires. He went from the hards to the soft, and to the soft, from the softs to the hards. So now he's in a good position to end this race with a normal tire wear, because otherwise with the softs it would be very difficult. So we will see how further Sedan and Wavy do to the end of this race with those compounds.
And Brain Stew in Sector 3, getting this grid slowed down, getting ready for the restart. What is he going to be able to produce? He's still actually no throttle through the chicane, but bringing it wide through turn 15, and away he goes then in that Dams car, and everyone else behind him filing through the final corner. Nice and clean so far, nice and tidy from everyone in this grid. We're going to hop back a few places. P6 is under threat. Moen in that position at the moment, but Kiwi looking very hungry for it. His teammates leading the restart, but he's looking to gain off of it up the inside into turn 1. Can he find the move? It's not going to be at the moment, but through turn 2, he might have found a little bit of space around the outside. Yeah. Moen's gone around, and I don't know if Domi's had to go straight into the gravel to avoid that. There's been a huge collection of cars everywhere. The camera's having a mare, but there is a lot of cars in that corner off at turn 3. And, well, that's similar to what we saw in the first race before the restart was killed. And only a few drivers have got through unscathed, but we haven't got a yellow flag, a safety car.
Yeah, very massive. I think it was Moen clipping the rear of Kiwi. I think Kiwi left the space, though, but Moen probably understeered there. So after that, Domi had to avoid, and Moen crashed with Rurzy DNFing, crashing with terminal damage. Now we have an overtake. It's Torza on the inside of turn 9 on Williams, and Torza now on Squid. It's a double overtake for the car lane Squid. I don't know if he has damage. It seems like it's actually major damage on that front wing. Squid will be losing the place with Williams. So Williams still following Torza after that overtake, and we have a lot of drivers here missing that front wing and at least some portion of it.
Yeah, Squid definitely going to dive into the pits here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him retire the car either, because he is struggling right now. He's managed to let Kulmanek go a little bit scot-free to get out of the way, but here he comes. Fordo Sedan as well. Looks like he's going to follow him into the pit lane, and neither has been very lucky on this restart. Meanwhile, up at the front, Maka is up into P4, and just behind him, Neon looking hungry for positions. And remember, there's still a lot of drivers here, Alex, that haven't made that mandatory pit stop. We've got the front 3 right now, Brainstew, Eric Welsh Toast, as well as Neon there in P5, and there is a VSC. What's that for? Domi's out.
Yeah, I saw that. Williams, I think he lost. Yeah, he actually lost it on turn 1 and 2, and I think he rejoined not on the better way possible, and Domi crashed into him. As we see, it's terminal damage for the ART. We'll see if Brainstew can take profit of this, but actually it's a BSC. I don't really think by the rules he can do that. So Brainstew will be looking for extend that gap to make the pit stop, but it's very, very difficult and very, very rare to see Brainstew here winning today on the feature race unicorn.
Yeah, Brainstew needs that. Well, there goes the safety car. The VSC has ended. Shane Perkins picked up a penalty for speeding under it, so I wouldn't now be surprised. You know, I don't think we'll see them come into the pit lane just yet. It still seems a little far off from the end of the race, but maybe with a good bit of time management, Brainsuit not going to take anyone up on the offer, and neither are the drivers behind him.
Neon, meanwhile, as we cross the line, DRS is open. Shane crashed on turn 4 after having a drive-through penalty for speeding under BSC. So now we have Neon. It doesn't seem like he will do the move. No DRS yet. Mac is still with the slipstream on Welsh Toast. So Neon still trying to go for a move. We'll see, because he's trying to do the switchback here. Another line taking turn 3 a little bit different from the car ahead, but seems like he has more pace but can't unleash it.
Yeah, again, Spain is a surprisingly tricky circuit to overtake around compared to, you know, we came from the Netherlands last week, and that is a, you know, very different circuit, very much more closed than what we've got here. A little bit of an exchange going on at the back of this grid. 13th to 14th, Fordor Sedan and Squid. And well, Squid, he's going into the pits again. I don't know if that's a sudden penalty or whatnot, but not working out for him. Neil, though, still hugging the rear of Maka. And with how close they are, I wouldn't be surprised to see the SMP car go for a move up the inside and down into turn 10. But the exit of turn 9, not really good enough. But now the exit through turn 10, the hairpin almost gave him a look up the inside of 11. It's a risky maneuver, and I think Neon knows better than most that isn't the best opportunity. You can see that the patience, his experience as a driver, really telling him what to do. Shane Perkins has retired the car in the pit lane, but this gap between P2 and P5 really non-existent, all within 1.5, 2 seconds of one another, and Maka still clinging on to DRS on Welsh Toast ahead of him, and that's really saving him here from the charging SMP car behind. As Welsh Toast might have a look at Eric, he's not going to find it as a yellow flag. I think it's the other ART.
Yeah, I think it was Sijos, yeah, spinning on the same spot as his teammate did. But yeah, we have this battlefield. Look at Neon. Look at Neon is very, very close. He will try to move from turn 4 on the inside. He's not even alongside, but I think we'll try the dive. Mac is closing the door now. He opens and Neon will take that spot. Very, very thankful of that, but almost losing it completely there on the exit of turn 4. He will try to take the place again, not now, but the next lap it seems like, because Maka now opened a little bit the gap. So very, very good defense for Maka, and a little mistake from Neon can cost you a place like that, as we saw.
Yeah, well, it's a nice save from him, but you don't want to really do it in that. These F2 cars, obviously Neon, very much used to the F1 cars here. It's a little bit of a challenge, and I think some of the drivers here like that. They like that these aren't the F1 cars. They like the different challenge that this provides, and well, right there, Neon's just felt it first and foremost, because that slide could have cost him a lot worse than what it did, but he's managed to get back onto the rear of the Prima car despite the fact he's on these old tyres, and the old tyres won't be helping him either as they come through the chicane, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him here pop into the pits in a couple of laps time.
Brainsteel jumps into the pits and takes a 5-second it's a 5-second penalty for spinning on the pit lane, so that will not help him for sure, as Neon has the slipstream, has the tow, has the DRS, and goes on the outside. It seemed like he was going to jump on the inside of Maka, but he tried the other line, and seems like it's going to work good, and he goes clean by the Prema racing car. So an exchange between teammates actually. So it will be Neon up in 3rd place, but he has to pit as well as the other 2 leaders.
Yeah, really nice opening the door for himself, baiting Maka to cover that inside line, going around the outside, and well, a very nicely crafted move from the SMP car, and we'll just have to wait and see how much more he can do, and whether he can catch Welsh Toast here, because Welsh Toast seems to be just struggling for pace, but he's not going as fast as Eric, that's for sure, up ahead. And Welsh Toast, though, he may not be going quite as fast, but he hasn't got any penalties to speak of, and neither does Maka, and Maka right now, we've seen him time and time again have some really good finishes here in the F2 cars. He's really shown his class throughout these community races. As Squid sets fastest lap of the race, and Maka, he's already done that mandatory pit stop. He's got no penalties. You can really see him, Alex, picking up another race win here tonight.
Yeah, as well as Toast and Neon going on the pits, almost touching there the inside. We will see if some of Toast 5-second penalty, as well as Brainsteel had. So we'll see, because Maka seems like will be the net leader. It's Eric will have to pit as soon as he can, because to try to take profit of those soft compound. But yeah, we have Neon pitting now. Of course, he will pit for this soft as well as Welsh Toast. But we'll see where they rejoin, as we have a sector flag, yellow flag on sector 3. Now it seems like it's clear. I think it was 4-door sedan. Sorry, it was Williams. But yeah, right now this race a little bit more calmed. The gaps are a little bit more extended. But we will see, yeah, of course, where Neon rejoins. It seems like clean air and just behind Welsh Toast. So it will be a 1 versus 1 on these 6 laps to go, as Welsh Toast goes a little bit wide on turn 3.
Yeah, and those fresh softs, it would be lovely to see them fully utilised against, these guys on the older hards, but I just don't see it, Alex. They're too far up the road. Even for Brainstew, he might be able to close down Cool Manic. Let's have a quick look at the penalty situation. Who's got more? Brainstew actually has way more, 8 seconds to his name right now, and that could see him drop quite substantially. Eric, only 3. Kiwi, only 3 as well. Cool Manic, 5 seconds, whilst Toast, 5 seconds. Cool Manic's under safety car, severe collision with Squid, I believe, and Welsh Toast leading in the pit lane. Here goes Neon, like you said, looking on the outside. It's turn later on the brakes of the SMP.
Safety car.
Well, that's just saved Welsh Toast. Well, has it?
I think Welsh Toast lost the car on turn 10, because otherwise probably Neon had to exchange that position, as Eric this is perfect for Eric. It was just on the exact moment he had to. It was amazing for him, actually.
He's just been gifted a pit stop, Alex. Right was everyone had just come in the lap before. Now he's in. Brainstew's actually going to follow him here.
I think he will serve the penalty. Now he will put new softs. Yeah, he's serving the penalty. Definitely, he doesn't want to have that 8 seconds. Now it will shorten it to 3 seconds of only track limits. But yeah, it seems like Neon will stay ahead of Welstost. I think, yeah, as I said, Welstost probably lost the rear on turn 10, so Neon didn't have to yield and let him pass again.
Yeah, so nice for him to get that penalty out, and there goes the safety car. So I think Maka actually did pass the safety car before it came out, so this really opening up things, opportunities. I wonder whether we'll see Maka here dive into the pit lane, get on some fresh softs. It wouldn't be the worst call in history, I don't think. No penalties, could really see himself fending off the guys behind.
Yeah,
be an interesting strategy. Back row as well. If Maka doesn't and back row does, that could be particularly interesting as well. Because look at the gap behind Eric's. Maybe Eric beats back row out, but other than that, I think he could just about get ahead of Neon.
Yeah, actually, those softs doesn't seem like they will be on the cliff at any point of these final 4 laps. But yeah, we'll see. Maka doesn't beat, Kiwi doesn't beat, and back row doesn't beat. They really don't want to risk these places they are on right now, so we will see how they manage. Kiwi has 3 seconds if I'm not mistaken, so he really didn't want to risk any place. He's on a very good place right now.
Yeah, Kulmanik will come in and get his 5-second serves, and where he comes out is going to be particularly interesting because it will determine whether, you know, Maka could have got away with a pit stop. I think he could have. I think he could have got away with this here, but obviously the 5 seconds here with Kulmanik is really costing him much more time. But given how far up the road Maka is, I think Maka could have got away with that 100%.
Yeah, at least ahead of Torza. Maka probably was going to rejoin, but yeah, Kulmanik will rejoin just after Brinstu, it seems. So very close actually. Yeah, probably Maka. I actually don't know. It was very close. So probably if he doesn't want to risk anything, he will just stay on the lead, because being on traffic here is very difficult to navigate, and especially when I think we will only have like 2 laps of green flag. Oh yeah, actually 2. I think 2 laps, because safety car will come in on lap 17. So probably only 18 and 19 as green flag racing, as Maka just catched the safety car. So all these cars are well, compressing, let's say. Eric still has to catch it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it right now, like you said, no, only 2 laps to go, and that means no DRS either in this last half of the feature race. There will be a sprint race to follow, as there always is, and there we will see all 19 drivers back to crack on and try and improve upon their results this race. Obviously, someone won't be able to improve, as they will have finished P1 here, as that will put them into P8 on the grid there, the reverse grid style for the top 8 of this first race for the second. But everyone trying to catch the safety car, but not many succeeding. We've only got, really, I think there's 6 drivers now. It is 6 drivers on the back of the safety car. I think we'll have 9 or 10 at the end of it. I think Williams will be just off it, and Moen and Ford Sedan just a little out. Moen, someone we see here week on week out, he hasn't had the greatest of races today, all the way down in P12 right now, 26 seconds behind Williams despite the safety car. So some really interesting stuff. Just to answer a question in chat, they do not need to swap to softs. These guys, they started on the softs, they switched off earlier onto the hard compound tyres. Now we're seeing some drivers on the reverse of that strategy, started on the hards, switched to softs, and there goes the controller. That's not exactly ideal, but we'll get that reconnected.
Yeah, exactly. These drivers don't need to pit, I think, any of them. Yeah, actually any of them. So we will see how they manage to keep it. I now understand why Maka and Kiwi and Bagro were there out, because only 2 laps of racing probably it's not enough to overtake a lot of these drivers, and of course they won't have DRS, so they didn't want to risk, and I really understand that. As the safety car will be on this lap, we will see if Moen can catch. I think it will be kind of close, but the same situation as Sijos had on the last safety car. So very unlucky for him, as we have an exchange on the safety car since Kulmanik and Wavy just probably trying to deal some penalty. Well, yeah, to solve some to solve any penalty or any loop of illegal overtaking.
Well, here we go. Maka getting everyone warmed up, ready to go. And still yet to full throttle it. It looks like now Maka has gone, just coming into the final corner. A little nice place to do it. A little bit off guard for the guys behind. I think Eric really read this better, at least, than Back Row did, because look at the run here. Callum Ilot's Virtuosi car just pulling up here late on the brakes. Really late on the brakes. He's trying to go for two. He's got a little bit greedy there, Alex, and that's not worked out for him at all. But he's just got Neon. And what a lunge from him. Back Row now. He is fighting off Welsh Toast, Brain Stew as well there, and it's really not gone well for him now. More cars are exchanging. Eric's up into P2. Neon's following him through around the inside of Kiwi. Kiwi on these hards. Maybe it was the right call to come in for the softs for these guys, because it looks like Kiwi really struggling here, but he had that penalty, so understandable why he didn't risk it. But is Maka going to live to regret this? He's only got 1.5 laps to hold these guys off for.
Yeah, now Neon very, very close to the back of Eric. We'll see, because Neon seems like he has more pace. At least he was showing that on the first stint, but Maka can be a little bit stressed now, because Eric is cutting the gap.
Kiwi, the two Dams cars have gone side by side into the corner. One's outbrake the other. And that's a very interesting rejoin for Kiwi. He's managed to coin pit contact free. But my goodness, he came onto the track fasted to 11. But he's just managed to keep it in P7. Sorry for the interruption, Alex, but went very wide into turn 10.
Colmatic and Kiwi jostling for position. Seems like Kiwi will stay ahead of the Carlin car. But yeah, now Colmatic with a better traction, as well as Neon, very good traction. We will see, because he's trying to go for the gap on the outside. Eric will stay on the inside. Neon will try to go later on brakes. Seems like the Virtuosi is holding on turn 2 on the outside, but Neon will cut across and will be ahead. It's on P2, and seems like he has more pace than Maka, but he has a penalty, and that can cost a lot. Maka can be a little bit more relaxed, but Brinstew is showing on the inside of Eric. Eric is going to lose the podium right now, but it seems like, yes, he will lose it, but it seems like still Back Row is 1.6 behind, and he doesn't have any penalty. That can be so important. It's very, very tight on this top 4 as Neon goes on the inside of turn 7. It's a very risky move. They're still side by side. Maka leaves the space. It's turn 8, and look at this. Who is this? It's Brainstew on the inside of turn 9.
It's a very opportunistic move from Brainstew, but you love to see it. What a move coming out of the Dams car. It is absolutely just snuck by when everyone else's guard was down, fighting one another. Neon now, he's fighting off Maka for what was the lead, but it's now P2, and they're side by side, and they've got to be careful that they don't open the door once again. This time it's Eric looking behind them. Wavy's out of this race. They're not going to call out a safety car. Eric late on the brakes, down into turn 13, and again, a very nice move constructed as Maka is dropping like a stone, and even without a penalty, this could cost him here, depending on how quickly. Oh, well, actually, no, it's the last lap, so Brainstew does cross the line first, but Maka in P1. Back Row hops into P2, and Brainstew is going to take home P3 despite finishing first on track. Colmatic's in P4. Neon with penalties is dropped down to P5. Eric's dropped to 6th. Kiwi's in 7th. Welsh Toast in 8th. Torza in 9th. Williams is going to round out the top 10. No penalties for him. He's kept himself clean, but still only the 1 point for him. Four-door sedan is going to trundle home behind in 11th, and Moen, well, what a bad race it's been for him. He's going to come through the final sector in 12th place, and he is the last of the finishers, despite there being 19 starters to this race. We got a short race as this one, the sprint race, a little bit shorter than this one, but top 8 will be reversed. So Maka will start 8th, whilst Toast will start on pole position. Moen will start in P12, given that he's outside that top 8, and my controller, once again, this time falling to the floor. But what a race.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing race. This last lap, I was without boys even. So Maka just, I think he didn't want to risk anything. He just knew the other drivers had penalties and just let them by. So Maka, there we have it, is first again. I think he won last week as well. It's not the first win he has here on F2, because we're really familiar with his face there on the first step of the podium.
Yeah, he's just showing his real dominance, his class. The Welsh driver, you know, that dragon is not unfamiliar with being in one of those flag frames above the podium. But let's have a look at the standings before we move on into that sprint race. Maka picks up P1 from second on the grid. Back row, 5th to 2nd, really picking up a lot of positions on penalties, I believe. Brainstew crossed the line first, started first, but penalties demote him down to 3rd place. Kulmanik, no penalties for him. Well, he did get one, but he started in the pit lane, and that was a very smart decision. He comes home in the 4th place after starting 16th on the grid. Similarly successful, Neon crossed the line in 2nd, I do believe. Comes from 14th to 5th, though, after penalties. Eric in 6th, Kiwi in 7th, Welsh Toast in 8th, Torza 9th, and Williams rounds out the point scoring finishes in this first race. Fordor Sedan and Moen, the only 2 other drivers to finish. Now, sprint race here. Welsh Toast will be on pole. Kiwi will be alongside him on the front row, and we'll see what these drivers can construct. A shorter race, probably about 13 laps, I would imagine. Somewhere between 12 and 14, I think.
Yeah, I really think can be something like that. But yeah, I think it was Welsh Toast who was going to start on front row, I think alongside Kiwi, if I'm not mistaken, and then Eric, Neon, Kulmanik, back row, Brinstil, and Maka. I think I exchanged it, Brinstil and back row. But yeah, I think that was the order. So we will see how much laps we have here on the sprint race, as it seems like this is glitch, so probably a restart maybe don't.
Well, everyone's slowly loading in, so I think we have to just go with it. I don't think we can restart this because I don't think we can get a custom grid on the restart. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it, so we will have to go here with whatever the grid has given us, and I think it's the same grid from the last one. So a lot of drivers losing out here, but as we go down towards turn 1, we do have 13 laps. It's Maka and Eric weaving their way down into turn 1, trying to get past Brainstew. Eric's found a way through. Maka looks like he's going to try it around the outside of turn 2, maybe into turn 3. Not quite finding the exit speed he needs to get that move done, though. Further back, Squid, he's having a little look up the inside. Moen and Psycho, they're exchanging positions down in P7. The BWT up into 7th place ahead of the Campos Racing car, who's now feeling a bit of pressure from Torza in the car left behind. Well, he's feeling pressure. He's felt the pressure. He's gone for a huge slide. He's collected what I think was Wavy. Maybe it was Domi.
Domi again. This time it's not a DNF, but it's massive damage, as we have a virtual safety car deployed. Oh, and Domi spawn again on those hot rear tires. So we will see, because this was very, very interesting. Very, very good start from Eric. Brinstil was vulnerable after not having any slipstream to defend with. So yeah, Eric will take 1st place, and this grid will be very, very close, as we will have green flag in a few moments after this VSC will go off.
Yeah, while we're under VSC, we'll take a few moments. Eric up 2 places, Brainstream Maka both down a place. Squid holds on to P4. Welsh Toast's up 1 past back row. Moen's up 2. Shane Perkins, he's up 6. And Kulmanik, a big leader as well, up 5 places into 11th. But we are restarting, and Brainstream all over the rear of Eric. He wants to regain that 1st place, and it looks like there's been a problem further down the grid. It's Squid in the same place again, blocking the pit lane. You hate to see it for him, but he is having a huge moment of struggle. But it's Brainstew down towards turn 1. It looks like Eric might just be opening the door for him, just so he can defend up the inside. Down into turn 1. They're side by side. There's yellow flags popping up left, right, and centre. But it is Brainstew back into lead of this race. Eric is still up 1 place from where he started, but he wants more. He is not going to stop until he is in lead of this race. Meanwhile, Moen, Shane Perkins, it looks like they will be exchanging down below for 6th place. And maybe Eric.
Look at this. Is Eric on the outside? He tried this switchback on turn 4. Brinstil was defending on the inside of turn 4. Now he has to defend again on the inside of turn 5. Now it seems like Brinstil is just safe, but Eric was trying very, very hard as he overshoots a little bit turn 7. I don't know if it was contact with Kiwi. Now overtaking Shane Perkins. Maybe a little bit closer on 7-8, but he won't have the gap to exchange the position with the Campos. So we will see Wavy trying for a better line on turn 9. Actually, Shane goes a little bit wide and goes to the grass, so it's a free spot for the high-tech driver.
Maka and Eric there exchanging, just coming into 11. I think Eric might have had a little bit of a problem coming out of turn at 10, but he's managed, or Maka's managed, sorry, to find a way past the Univirtuosi car. And, well, Eric, he was in P1 at one stage of this race, but now he's struggling humongously as Welsh Toast looks like he was going to have a look through the chicane. There's a red flag behind. I think that's a yellow flag. Sorry, it's Squid spun around again. He is really struggling here on this second race, the sprint race. Just to confirm, there won't be a restart for the F shoes with the grid. Kiwi now, he's on a bit of a charge right now in that damn sky. He's going to have a look up the inside of Moen, but Moen late on the brakes around the outside. What a defense. Kiwi not really committing to the move, but Moen opened it. Moen's opened the door for turn 2. Now he has the inside for turn 3. The BWT, he defended, he opened the door, and he closed it straight back again. So nicely done from him. But Kiwi, he's all over the rear. He's looking out the inside of turn 4. Not going to find it, but these two, what racing we're seeing here, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was just deja vu of the first race, as this driver had an exchange as well, it was actually identical, but it finished with a spin of Moen understeering on the side butt of Kiwi. So we will see, because Kiwi seems like he has more pace, but he's trying to unleash it. But Wavy's catching as well, so Wavy will. Oh, Wavy spawned on turn 9.
That is a huge crash. We just saw it in the background there. Lucas Giotto's car getting spun round out of turn 9, but again, no flag. Oh, well, there's a yellow flag being waved, obviously, but no safety car, no virtual safety car. But there's another car off. It's Eric. He's not had the best of luck. He started so strongly, but now he falls down the order once again. Callum Ilot's car being taken out of the gravel, gets it back on track. No visible damage, amazingly. But at the same time, he's going to have to get that reorientated, get his head back in the game. He's in P10. That's out of the points for the sprint race. Only the top 8 score points. And, well, he's not going to be happy with himself after that one.
Definitely not. As we knew, he had some pace here. As Rursi tried to go on the outside, Shane overshot a little bit the corner of turn 1. Seems like he will defend at the moment. Probably Rursi having more traction on turn 3. We will see. But it doesn't seem like we will have any exchange from now on. So we have as well Kiwi still on the back of Moen with DRS, and back row on the back of Welsh Toast for this podium place.
Yeah, only Shane Perkins with a penalty to his name at the moment, so the drivers keeping themselves a little tidier than they were in the previous race. So we saw a lot of people exchange positions after the checkered flag was waved because of those penalties being applied by the game. Not that that won't happen here. We've still got plenty of laps for drivers to pick up those warnings, pick up those penalties, as Torza almost getting a little bit sideways out of turn 9. Just about manages to find the traction on the exit of the corner. Rosie still all over the rear of Shane Perkins, but as they come through 11 into 12, these three not exchanging positions, though Rosie really slow out of 12. He's got to be careful that he doesn't give Torza too much of a window, too much hope that he can get past down into turn 1, because right now it looks like the Carlin is going to utilize everything at his disposal. But now out of the chicane, Rosie looking nice and quick on the exit, and that's exactly the most crucial corner, Alex, that you need the exit speed out of because of this long straight and the run down into turn 1.
Oh yeah, and Rosie seems like he has the run. We'll see, because Shane will defend the inside. Now again the same we had. Shane is still holding on the ahead of the Universal car. It's very close, the gap almost notching the rear of the campus from Rosie, as we have an exchange on the back. I think it's Domi and Wavy.
Yeah, these guys are still all over the gearbox, and he might find a way up the inside, down the outside to turn 5. Can he find a way past the Univirtuosi? It's going to be tight as they exit the corner. Rosie just shuts the door. There's just enough space, but it does find it and keeps on holding P8 for the time being. But Torza really making his intentions clear, really showing that he wants to get past as soon as he can.
Oh, look at the run out of turn 9 Unicorn, because he'll have DRS slipstream as well as Rursi. But look at the move, is down the inside of La Casha. It's turn 10 and will be the Carling ahead, just ahead, because the Universal almost touched the rear. And I don't know if Torza has damage on the end plate, but it seems like, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Well, Neon spinning again, my controller disconnecting, which is really not what we want, but
yeah, we had a yellow flag on sector 2. I think it was a Campos, probably Psycho. So yeah, meanwhile, we have this train again. Torza, after he just overtook Rurzi, it will be Eric who was catching this train. He dives on the inside of turn 1 on his teammate on that Univirtuosi. So it will be Eric catching again the group after the spin he had on turn 12 and 13. So we will see, because I think it was Wavy going straight on turn 10. Yeah, he actually lost the reference, probably some kind of contact with Domi, and he will lose a lot of time there, as well as the rear after he goes up the curb of turn 11.
Well, there we go. Everything back in working order. Eric still tied to the rear, and these guys will be exchanging. But as they come out of turn 9, Torza, he does have damage. I noticed that on the previous lap, so that will be a struggle. A huge lunge coming out of the Univirtuosi down into turn 10, but the switchback from Torza, perfectly executed from the Carlin, even with that left end plate missing. That is beautifully done from him, and he defends P8 for the time being.
Yeah, that was amazingly done from Torza, defending with that damage, as you said. And Eric will try to go again for a move, but it doesn't seem like he had the good traction there, and Torza had it. So we will see. Torza is very, very far away from the car in front, so I don't think we'll have an exchange here, as Q is still on the rear at the moment, but he will not be close enough either. Oh! And Moen spun!
Well, there he is in the gravel trap, and everyone going past him. This is a huge amount of positions lost for the Brit and the BWT car, falling well outside the points, and a couple of weeks after a podium, he was super excited about it. Hasn't been able to find that magic again in the following 2 weeks.
Sorry to interrupt, but Eric having an amazing run out of turn 4. He actually tried the move, but it doesn't seem like he will get it then. He's just lurking. Look how he's trying to thread the car in front. We have a yellow flag. I think it's in the front. I think it's... I was gonna say back row, but no, it's Domi. No, it's Wavy actually. It's Wavy. There's a lot of sector... Well, yellow flag on sector 2, as we have a safety car? Yeah, we have a safety car.
What is that for? Wavy was getting his car turned around, so...
I think it was because Wavy or...
Oh, I think he's lost his entire front wing.
I think, yeah, he lost that. And race director seems like he had enough to declare that was a safety car action. But we'll see, because Wellstone will take profit of this safety car. I don't know if it's worth it though, but it's not. He's not the only one jumping into the pit lane. It's Shane and Sorza. Eric will stay out. I think it's the wisest decision here. He will gain some places. He will jump into turn 5. Sorry, turn 5, P5. But we will see, because Eric now is on the comeback.
Yeah, Welsh Toast on these softs could be quite deadly. We saw how fast they were on the restart last time, and this time no one has penalties. That's something that Welsh Toast, he's not going to benefit from it, but he's not going to lose out from it either, because he's on these soft tires, so he won't, if he makes any places he does make, he will coop. So he does have that going for him. The problem here is that no one ahead of him has penalties. So he has to make the positions on track, and when you're battling people, that's when the penalties start rolling in. So fingers crossed he can make sure he can keep himself penalty free and try and find some positions, and hope for his sake that the guys at the top pick up some 3-second time penalties, keep himself in that distance, and use these soft tyres to see himself onto the podium. I do think he was in 3rd or 4th when he came into that pit stop prior.
He was 3rd.
So yeah, he is giving up the podium right now. He's got a lot of faith in these softs, and a lot of people have joined him as well behind him, and that's really saved him from dropping further down the order. So it's not the worst decision I've ever seen out of a driver. Brainstew is now into the pit lane, and I wonder if we're going to see a few drivers follow here, and how close Welsh Toast can get. It's because they beat the safety car out.
Yeah, they didn't had to catch the safety car. Eric will have a drive-through, because speeding on their safety car, that's massive. That massive after the comeback he did. He cannot serve it on their safety car, but he will jump. Wait, he's just actually almost blocking. I think it was the Delta. He was trying to get it done, so he had to slow down almost to 0 kph to follow the rules. So he will pit for the softs, and probably, well, and he has to pit for another drive-through, as he will have to come around. But I don't know if, well, this grid is just so extended on the map, so I don't know if the safety car will be on this lap.
Yeah, there's, like you said, the grid is so spread out right now that we may only have 2 or 3 laps of green flag racing. So, we'll have to wait and see. But now Welstro's back up into P4. Backrow didn't pit. He's still out on the hards. He thinks he's going to go to the end on those. And now, because everyone else has changed behind him pretty much, that could be a problem for him. He could really see himself struggle now that the 6 cars behind him are all on the soft compound tyres. No one has penalties with the exception of Shane Perkins down in 6th place. But those hards up at the top could really cost him here. Especially now that everyone else is on the softs. They're going to be faster. They're going to be putting on pressure. The only hope he has is that he can restart this race, get a gap at the start, and cause the other guys to fight behind him. But even then, it seems like a little bit of a stretch. There's not going to be too much time, though. There's not going to be a lot of green flag racing. And that, again, could save him here.
Yeah, definitely. It will be, seems like only 3 laps of green flag, as 11th lap will be the first one, it seems. But yeah, even though Brinsteel has a lot of face, is a tier 1 driver versus a tier 3 driver, and there's a lot of gap on that dams, as we see for Dorsalan trying to lap himself. We hope he won't get disqualified by the game, but it seems like he had the 5s. Oh yeah, it seems like he's disqualified.
Well, that's unfortunate for him. There he goes. He's been disqualified, and it's so unfortunate the game, you know, does have these things that doesn't let you do, but that is the case. The game, you know, it's got its rules. They may not be quite the same as real life, but this isn't real life. There are different rules, and the drivers, it's up to them to be aware of them, and even though they are a little bit broken at times, got to be fully on the ball when it comes to this game, to the curveballs that it can throw at you. But very unfortunate to see Ford Sedan hit DSQ'd from the session. 2 and a bit laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Misfits Racing League Formula 2 action here at Spain to round out our week of Spanish Grand Prix. Tier 3 will resume the F1 action at Monaco on Tuesday, same time as this, 8 PM GMT, 3 PM Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to, well, Comanex just he's put it into the quits in the pit lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, be sure to check out our Discord, !Discord in the chat if you want to join their mid-season sign-ups. Get involved in community races like the F2. There's classic races held all the time as well as our YouTube for race replays and highlights. And of course, check out Next Level Racing, our amazing partner for all your sim rig needs from beginner all the way up to advanced level stuff. They've got you covered. So be sure to check them all out over there on their website. They're doing amazing stuff for the sim racing community. And I think, Alex, the safety car might be going out for another lap.
Seems like, I think we're waiting for Domi, as Domi is still on Sector 1, and the safety car is here on Sector 3 already. So yeah, it will be only 2 laps of green flag, it seems. So better for back row. No DRS will be involved on any of these laps. As we know, it waits 3 laps to have it enabled. But yeah, even though I think he's in a very, very big trouble with Brainsteel, Mac and Wellston, and probably I think Kiwi as well. Now I don't have the detail, but yes, Kiwi, Shane and Ruzi as well on those soft compound.
Yeah, those softs really could be deadly here, especially for back row. He's 10 lap old hards, but he's been saved here. The safety car's gone out again. This is what he needed. He needs to spend as much time under here as possible. Not only is that nursing his tyres so they're as fresh as possible, but also there's only 2 laps to go, and there's only 2 laps where these guys could overtake him on. And it's a pretty difficult circuit to overtake on. Turn 1 being one of the best spots. If he gets the restart nailed, he won't have the guys behind won't have the opportunity to get him into turn 1. That means there'll be 1 opportunity to get him through turn 1 and 2 opportunities to get him down into turn 10. Other than that, maybe a few ambitious moves through turn 3, 4, 5. But he needs to nail this restart, Alex. He really needs to get this one down.
And will be difficult with those hards. I don't know the temps right now, but Brainsteel will have it easier to warm up his softs. So I think it will be on this lap, even if Domi doesn't catch, because it's not, well, safety car really can't go more than. Well, it's always two green flags to the end when there's a safety car. So we'll see a safety car coming on this lap, as we see there the announcement of race control. So Domi, I think, will be able to catch as well as Psycho. Yes, because this grid will be compact again. So Bakro is going to time this perfectly. He needs to. It's critical for him to get a good restart and warm up those rears, because last turn really demands you a good one, a good exit. So we'll see how he does.
Well, here we go. Big shout out to Darren Alpha. He's just raided the stream, so big shout out to him. One of the Misfits F1 drivers. Big thank you to him. Appreciate everyone for hanging out in chat. We're about to get restarted here on lap 11 of the sprint race here at Formula 2 action. And here goes back row. He has hammered down. And Brainstew read this perfectly. He's about the only one that did. But those soft tyres really giving him the traction he needs out of this last corner. But there's 1.5 seconds. I don't know what was happening with Macca and Welsh Toast, but it does appear that they were sleeping. As down into turn 1, the leads exchange. P3 is exchanging as well. Macca and Welsh Toast side by side coming through P2. Turn 2, sorry, and Macca holds on to P3 for now, but Welsh Toast really trying to cling to him. Torza, he's gone spinning into the gravel trap off at turn 2 as well. But up at the top, things are looking pretty calm. There's a huge gap between Backrow and Macca, and well,
yeah,
the restart worked well for him.
Macca lost the rear on the last turn. That's why that happened, and Welsh Toast had to lift a little bit to not notch him. So yeah, Kiwi is still holding there on the DRS. Actually, well, we will not have DRS, but he's staying there on that 1 second window. We have a lot of drivers. Look at Psycho. I think he was overtaking after the chicane of 7-8 Williams. So we'll see Domi as well. Very, very close of Neon Eric having 3 second time penalty, as he has to serve a drive-through still. So we'll see if he gets disqualified or not. But will be very, very important to see that, as Brainstew extends the gap to the second place. 2.3 seconds already.
Yeah, he's really flying right now. Williams there, some sort of damage on his end plate missing, so drops down a couple of positions over the course of the lap, really struggling. Not only is Brainstew getting away with his teammate Kiwi, he's dropping off the back hit of Welsh Toast ahead, so still a few positions changing. Macca now, a nice run. And down into turn 3 as his teammate Neon seems to have had an issue. But a little bit of jostling. Back row really giving him the squeeze. He's trying to keep P2 for himself. And he's just about worked through turn 1 and 2. But the inside for the softs in turn 3, there's nothing the back row could really do. But he might have just found the traction he needs. Alex around the outside. Now Macca a little later on the brakes. But back row just needs to hold on to that inside line. Down into turn 5 if he can find it. But Macca, the softs, really putting up a great fight. Backrow did excellently to hold him for as long as he could, but he just needs to be sure that he can try and finish on the podium here. Brainstew's picked up a penalty. I don't think it's going to cost anything now, but at the same time, that penalty could cost him here if Macca can put down a really brilliant sector 3. But I don't think it's going to be the case here. Down now into turn 10. Welsh Toast not going to go for the move. Somebody might though. Moen up the inside of Rawsey. Just about finds it, but he's got the other Univirtuosi on his inside. They're weaving all over the place trying to get themselves situated. The two Univirtuosi teammates have come together. They're keeping going in the right direction. And everything is fine for now. But Rawsey now under pressure. Domi. He slips straight through. And the other Univirtuosi is to the wall. Brainstew crosses the line in P1. Macca's in P2. P3 goes to back row. Welsh Toast picks up P4. Moen hops into P5 with penalties. Rawsey's P6. Kiwi 7th, as there's a lot of cars crossing the line at the same time. But there we go. What a race. A lot of drama here in F2 tonight, Alex. And I don't quite know what to make of it, but it was dramatic, that's to say the sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you saw it, but on the last chicane, I think there was Psycho spun around. Eric was just before turn 14 as well on the grass when Domi spun at the same time. So 3 drivers really having the chaos on that final lap and final sector of this race. So very, very dramatic for not only this race, but the feature race as well.
Yeah, let's have a look at the results then. So Brainstew wins, Macca P2, back row in P3, Welsh Toast fourth, Moen from 9th to 5th. Surprise at the end with the penalties. Rawsey from 13th to 6th. Great race from him. Kiwi drops to 7th place, but still 4 positions gained over the course of the race. Shane Perkins in 8th. Williams in 9th. And Domi rounds out the top 10. Only the top 8, though, score points. Then Psycho, Eric, Neon, Torza, and then Kulmanik didn't finish. Wado Sedan, Wavy, Squid, Sejos as well, not finishing either. Let's have a look at the results overall, though. Maka, again, wins. I do believe he's done this before. 37 points for him. Just ahead of Brainstew. Brainstew got a few good runs, pole position as well, but that win in the feature race really gave Maka the upper hand here. Back row in 3rd place on 28 points. Then a huge drop in points. Kulmanik, 12 points from the feature race, and then none in the sprint, but still enough for P4. Welsh Toast in 5th, then Neon in 6th, Eric in 7th, Kiwi in 8th, Moen in 9th, Rawsey in 10th, then Torza in 11th. Williams and Shane Perkins tied for 12th on 1 point. Then no one scoring a point. Domi, Psycho, Ford Sedan, Wavy, Squid, and Sejos here. So bad luck for those drivers. But Alex, any closing remarks after that one?
It was super intense. Actually, a lot of good racing. I think there was a Maka protecting some places on the main race, as well as back row trying to hold with those hearts. It was very dynamic with those safety cars. We saw how they just sparked some action there on this Barcelona track. So very, very good show for today on F2 Unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out to everyone hanging out in the chat. Alex will be back on Tuesday with Striff to commentate Tier 3 when Monaco action gets underway here. So be sure to tune in for that. It's the same time as this 8 p.m. GMT, 9 p.m. Central Europe, or 8 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to drop us a follow here on Twitch and subscribe over on YouTube for all the race replays as well as the highlights that will be coming out, I do believe, on Tuesday for this week of racing, as well as check out Next Level Racing, our amazing partners for all your sim rig needs, and the Discord as well. Make sure you're in there so you can get involved in community races like this F2 one and just hang out with a bunch of awesome people who are all F1 fans as well. And a big shout out as well to Darian Alfie and Dirk Chocolate for the raids as well as of course to Ace Ritchie for the subscription and all of the follows, all of you hanging out in chat. But we're going to hit you with the outro and then obviously raid a member of the F1 community. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.